Hello, 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 and welcome to Love on the Line Live. Thank you so much for being here. I am April A. Carter, your certified expert relationship coach. And you know what? We have a great segment in store for you tonight. The reason why I started this show, this channel, is because I want you to be able to ask me your ask me some of the relationship questions that you have on your mind. Listen, I want to be the person to clear the clutter. There is a lot going on when it comes to dating and relationships, and I just want to make sure that you know exactly what to do to make your love life last. Let me talk about it. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of background, I am a certified expert relationship coach, and I have been featured on news channels like Black News Channel, CBS, NBC, and countless other media outlets for my strategies. Why? Because they work. I'm happily married. I have been happily married for more than 15 years, but it wasn't that long ago that I was in a domestic violence marriage where I was being taken advantage of, being mentally and physically abused, and just going through the rigmarole, girl. So it was a lot, right? But one thing that I decided to do was just kind of look at my future in the fall. Look at my future. I wanted to fast forward 10 or even 15 years from that time. And I didn't want to be that person stuck in a relationship. I didn't want to be that person stressed out, always going through it. I didn't want to be sick because of the stress. I wanted to live a happy life. I saw my life being filled with love and abundance. And although I was married, I knew that God had a promise for my life. Sometimes we get stuck in relationships and we get stuck in marriage because, you know what, we're married. This person is better than what I don't know. And that's not the case. He does not want you to be unhappy. The Lord does not want you to be unhappy. So I decided to put my expertise into helping women in regards to relationships. Now, that's how we got here. That's how we got to this Love on the Line segment. I get a lot of questions in my DMs. I get a lot of questions when I'm out and about at networking events. People try to do on the spot coaching, y'all. It's really serious. So I said, well, you know what? What if I bring my expertise to a live segment where you, the public, get to ask me some of the questions that are on your mind? Tonight, we have an amazing guest. We have Miss Charlene joining us. Charlene is a beautiful person inside and out. She is a mom and a serial entrepreneur who is successfully juggling this thing we call life. Charlene has been off the dating scene for a while, so she's ready to jump back into it. And tonight, I'm going to give her some of the tools. And I want you to be writing it down. I want you to be asking all the questions. And I want you to be able to actually be interactive when it comes to this. Because, listen, it's not just about the guests that are on the line with us. It's about all of you that are out there as well. So if you can listen and take away from some of these top strategies and apply them to your life, that means it's a win-win for everybody all involved. So without further ado, let's bring on Miss Charlene. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I am doing great. You look wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You always look amazing. Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you. Of course, absolutely. You know what? When you reached out to me and said that you wanted to try something different in your love life and dating and relationships, I thought, why not the perfect segment for you to join us on Ask April A, Love on the Line Live? Why? Because your journey, I know it may seem like it's one in a million, right? But unfortunately, you are not alone when it comes to dating relationships. Many people have been where you are and are currently where you are, and they have questions that want to be answered, that need to be answered. So I want to make sure that you are actually being your most authentic self. Of course, just share what you feel comfortable sharing so that others can learn from some of the things that we discuss here tonight. So, Miss Charlene, before we go any further, I just want to ask you, do you have anything that you want to share with the public about yourself and about who you are? A little introduction of yourself, if you will.
Well, you did a pretty good introduction, so I guess I'll just piggyback off that a little bit. So, I'm Charlene. A mother, serial entrepreneur. I am also a coach, but I'm a life and business strategy coach. And I'm a person that loves many different things. So I'm multi-passionate. I get my hands in a lot of things because I don't believe that we were put here to do one thing. Divorced, and I am excited about dating again because I had personally thought that my ex husband was the person that God intended for me and all of that. But since then, I realized no anger, no bitterness, but he's not the person that God had for me. So that makes me even more excited because I'm like, okay, that person is still out there. But I'm a little bit nervous too because I'm re-entering the dating scene, and there's dating apps, there's all this different stuff, and I don't know, it's a little bit scary, just a little.
Yeah, it can be scary, but I mean, with the person of your expertise, a person who actually knows how to start and stop again and help people with their life and their businesses, you got this in the bag. So we're going to make this as much fun and as easy as possible for you.
I
Thank you so
believe it
much for
because if it
joining.
was, oh, thanks for joining. If it wasn't for you, if it wasn't you, I probably wouldn't be doing this because I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to like talk about this publicly, but here we are. Let's
That's
do
okay.
it.
We're going to make this nice and seamless, and we're not going to go too hard. We'll save that for the one-on-one private behind the scenes. But the first thing that I want to give you is your shout outs. I want to give you your flowers right now because it's so hard to, first off, acknowledge and admit that you do need help when it comes to dating and relationships. Many women feel as though, you know what, I might want help, but I'm a little bit embarrassed to say that I actually need help. So the fact that you put yourself out here for the world to see and for the world to, just kind of learn from, give yourself a shout out. Everybody put some hearts in, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe because Charlene is taking the first step to actually receiving help. So Charlene has been divorced. And now she's getting her feet wet again and she's going back into the dating and relationship world. But what I want you to know, Charlene, is that although you have been off the dating scene for quite some time, the game has not changed. Only the players, right? And I think it's important for me to say that because so many times some of the feedback that I get is, oh, dating is so different. Dating has changed. The men are not like what they used to be before. That may appear to be true, but what is actually true is that dating has not changed. You have changed.
Okay.
So you are not the same person that was dating when you were in your 20s or 30s, or even for some of the viewers, 40s or 50s. So because of that, your mindset has changed. What you're willing to accept has changed.
That's true. It's
The
funny that you say that because I was saying too that when I was in my 20s, it was easy to start over with dating because my geographical location was different. Like I lived in a city, you could meet someone walk into a bodega, right? Here I am now in my 40s. I live in the suburbs. We're not walking anywhere.
right.
Right? So the chances of me meeting someone just on a walk are slimmer, right? And then when we're out and about, we're really on the go. So it's not, to your point, that it's changed. It's just that certain parts of your life have changed. So it's different. And you know what? I'm a coach. So I know if you want to get something done, go to the people who know how to do it. That's it.
That's right. And that's so funny that you should mention that. When you hire a coach, somebody like myself, somebody like Charlene, it's not that you can't get the information. It actually just folds the lapse of time. You get to your results quicker and faster with ease. So we're going to help Charlene reach her relationship goals one step at a time. So Charlene, before I give you some of the things that I think will be great for you and where you are in your relationship journey, what questions do you have for April A? What do you want to ask the expert?
Okay, here's my first question. I'm really not wanting to do this dating app stuff. I can't lie. I've joined an app and it's just nonsense, right? It's a waste of time. I don't want a pen pal back and forth or somebody that's going to just message you and then be gone. So, what's the best way to meet people in this stage of life, because I'm also not interested in like I don't drink, so I don't want to go to a bar and meet somebody. I'm not interested in happy hour. What's the best place to like meet?
Those are great questions and wonderful feedback. I know you don't want to date online, right? But the first thing that I would say is, if you do date online, or when you have started dating online, did you have a strategy? What was your dating strategy? So for those ladies that are okay with dating online, who may be watching the show or watching the replay, I want to make sure that when you do date online or dating in general, that you have an actual strategy. Think about yourself as a ship, right? When you're on the ship, you're in this big wide world, this big ocean, right? And you are just floating. But in order for you to reach your destination, you have to know oh, excuse me, guys, it's like a fly going on over here. You have to know the logistics of where you are going.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing where you want to end up will be the first step of your creating your dating strategy, whether it's online or offline. For somebody like you, Charlene, since you don't like dating online, or you don't like dating in pubs or some of those places where alcohol is being served, the first thing that I would tell you, oh, excuse me, guys, this is really, I don't know what's going on. This fly is bugging me out. Sorry, I digress. But the first thing I want you to do is actually meet people where you like meeting people. So think about your hobbies. Think about some of the things that bring you joy. What are some of those things that you like to do?
So I feel like one, let me say this. I received what you said about a strategy, and it's so funny that you said that because I'm the strategy coach, but I did not ever come up with a love strategy. Okay. All
Well, that's
right.
where I come in, right?
I know that's why I called you. Okay. So what do I like to do?
Mhm.
I like to paint. I like Pilates. I like hiking. I like music. So concerts, live music, jazz. I like all kinds of music. Um, I like traveling. Um, I like being involved in the community. So volunteering. I definitely am very active in my church. Um, so yeah. So I
Okay.
guess those are a couple of the places.
Okay, those are great places. And the reason why those are great places because unlike many women, Charlene, you actually like leaving the house. You
I
like
do.
being social, which is great, right? You're not just waiting for Mr. So and so to come and knock on your door and just miraculously appear. So what you can do is, I want you to go to some of your meetup groups. Go to meetup.com. I'm sure you're familiar with that. It's a website where you can find like-minded people that are doing like-minded things, or things that you like. So go to meetup.com and create yourself a social singles calendar. When you
Mm,
go to meetup.com, I want you to choose groups that resonate with you. So, like painting, choose a painting group. Music and concert, choose these groups. Now, many of these groups, while they have women in them, they are also groups that are specifically for singles.
okay.
Okay, so you set that up that way. So choose those groups based on that. Church is very, church is kind of like, hit or miss, because although they do have singles groups or ministries, I would say, in church, many men actually go to those type of ministries to specifically prey on single women and take advantage of them.
Mhm.
So when it comes to the church ministries, make sure that you are actually being intentional with who you are meeting and who you are dating and how you're getting along with them. So LaShawna says dating is so like networking. It absolutely is. It's definitely like networking. It's kind of like networking with a referral system, right? Who do you know that might be interested in working with me in regards to a relationship aspect?
Hmm.
Dating is like networking when it comes to matchmaking, right? So let's say you know 5 people, and you tell those 5 people that you are single and interested in meeting somebody. You have instant matchmaking right then and there. So if those 5 people set you up with 2 different people or introduce you to 2 different people, those are 10 prospects that you have right at your fingertips.
Mhm.
It's free matchmaking for you. So I want you to voice your needs and your wants to some of your trusted community friends, your trusted community family members, because these people know you the best and they have your best intention at heart, and they will not set you up with somebody, or introduce you, I should say, with somebody who is really not on your level. So it kind of takes away the guessing work. The next thing that I want you to do to meet people is I want you to make sure that you are actually intentional about the type of people that you want to meet. Because let's be real, you can meet people today, tomorrow, you meet people everywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
But the type of people that you meet are going to determine your relationship status. So you have to be intentional by setting up, before you even start telling anybody that you want to date, set up your WNDC method. Your WNDC method is a method that I created that's also in my book, Compatible Companion. The reason why I created this method is because LaShawna said she was just about to ask about the preferences. So we're right on target. The reason why I created this method is because sometimes we get involved with people just because we like them and they like us. And the relationship doesn't work out that way for reasons that we'll find out down the line.
Mm-hmm.
But you are to date somebody that is compatible. The more compatible they are with you and where you are in your life, the better your chances are to having that relationship last. So the W and the WNDC method is going to be your wants. What do you want from a partner?
Okay.
Now, your wants are not going to be materialistic things. Your wants should be meaningful. It should be chock full. It should be something that is truly meaningful to you. What do you want in a partner in regards to a family man? What do you want him to, how do you want him to express his feelings to you? Do you want him to be communicative? Do you want him to be a hands-on type of parent? Do you want him to be somebody who is social but likes to be home? Do you want him to be somebody who knows how to have a good time but also knows how to be very responsive to you as well? So what are your wants in that type of capacity? So yes, we all want somebody who is rich. We want somebody who is, fly, handsome, 6 feet tall, all of those things, right? But when you strip that away, what is at the core of that person? What are their values? What type of values do you want in a mate?
Okay.
And you want to make that list short, but also at least no more than 10. No more than 10. Why? Because when your list gets too long, it's going to be harder for you to actually break down what it is you want. We got to stay focused. It's kind of like when you go to Cheesecake Factory, or if you ever been to Cheesecake Factory, they have a great menu, right? But sometimes it takes you so long to, right? It's so much on there that you end up really not choosing something that you truly like or want. The next thing on that WNDC method is going to be your needs. What are your needs? What do you actually need? So a need is going to be different from a want. A want can be kind of like what is nice to have, but what do you absolutely need for your relationship to thrive? What would that be? You need him to have a full-time career. You need him to be self-sufficient. You need him to be able to speak kind to you. You need him to be able to be nice to your children. What do you absolutely need for your relationship or for your partner? And you're going to look at it in two different aspects. What do you need in a partner, and what do you need in a relationship?
Okay.
Okay, because at the end of the day, the relationship is all about you. It's about who you choose, why you choose them, and why you stay in that relationship.
Okay.
Because sometimes we choose people that we probably shouldn't have chose, right? And we say, oh, well, we can't help who we fall in love with. But you absolutely can when you set yourself up with a solid foundation from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Okay, so LaShawna says, what is the WNDC again? Okay, let's go through the WNDC. So first, LaShawna, we only did the W and N. That's the wants and the needs. The next thing is going to be your D. That's your deal breakers. Now, every time I mention that D, sometimes ladies are like, the D? No, we're not talking about that D. We're talking about the deal breakers. You do that on your own time. We're talking about the deal breakers. Now, the deal breakers, although they seem like needs, they are not needs, because a deal breaker, I want you to think of it in this particular aspect. A deal breaker would be something that would cause you to not enter into a relationship with somebody, and something that will cause you to end it all. Okay, so let's say you are in a thriving relationship and you guys are doing great and you are happily married or happily committed and everything is going amazing. What would be that one thing or a few things that will cause you to end the relationship? Period, point blank. That would be your deal breaker. And the reason why I phrase it this way is because sometimes we say we have a deal breaker, but when it happens, it's not actually a deal breaker. So you have to be true to yourself to what that deal breaker is. Sometimes women say the deal breaker is cheating, but we know that's not always a deal breaker for everybody. Some of your most famous people have stayed in relationships after their husband or their mate had cheated. That wasn't their deal breaker. They might have thought it was, but that wasn't it. What is your absolute deal breaker? Something that you cannot move forward in the relationship with. And then lastly, it's your C. Your C is your compromise. What are you willing to be compromise on? Okay, because we're excited about relationships and all those things, and love is in the air, but are you willing to compromise on sharing some of your bathroom space? Are you willing to compromise on your time not being your own because you have to nurture the relationship? So when I talk about compromise, I want you to look at the whole picture of compromising, because in order for your relationship to work, both people are going to have to compromise in the relationship. It's not going to always be about you once you find your perfect match, and it's not always going to be about him. So let me put that in there. The WNDC method. Let me add this into the chat right now. The WNDC method, again, is going to be your wants. Got your wants, your needs, your deal breakers, and your compromises. Okay, so we have that there. Wants, needs, deal breakers, and compromises. Thank you so much for putting that in the chat, Jessica. Appreciate you. I didn't see that you had did that. Okay, so your wants, needs, your deal breakers, and your compromises. So that's where you're going to start. So you have two things so far to help you with your dating strategy. The first thing that I mentioned was creating your social singles calendar. The social singles calendar, you're going to join some of these groups, and then you're going to go through your calendar. I have my trusty calendar here. You're just going to go through your calendar. You're going to go through your calendar and then put the dates where you want to socialize and look for events on those particular dates. And bring a wingman or wing woman. Bring somebody for support. No more than one person, because men don't like a group of women. You can also do this when you're scrolling on social media, and sometimes you see an event that might be interesting to you. You can, put that on your social singles calendar. And the objective is, yes, to go out and have fun, but the objective is also to make sure you meet somebody that is like-minded. You do this with Eventbrite. Just go through your calendars and things of that nature to create your social single calendar. Does the wing woman need to be single? No, absolutely not.
I was just about to say, almost all of my friends, close friends, are married. So
no, that'll be even better, because a married woman, she knows the qualities, or most times knows the quality of husband material man. Also, if you bring your single friend, that's kind of like competition, because she's out there trying to help you, but she's really looking for herself too. So we want to make sure that right. Okay, LaShawna says thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. We definitely want to make sure that we keep our channel growing. Put your questions in the chat. If any of you want to jump on after we finish with Charlene, you guys can do that as well. We have the link. If you scroll to the top of the page, you can find the link right there. Just copy that and you'll be able to join to ask April A your questions in the next 5 minutes. So, Charlene, before I let you go, I want to go through some of the things that I tell all of my clients when they are just getting their feet wet back to dating, okay?
Mm-hmm.
First thing I want you to do is be clear on your relationship goals. Okay. So I want you to understand where you are in your relationship journey and why you're dating. Is it
Okay.
to build something real and long lasting, or do you just want someone to hang out with and pass the time with?
I definitely want something real and long lasting.
Okay.
But I have a question for you. Can I ask one more
Sure.
question?
Of course.
So, some of my friends have given me the advice that I give off committed relationship vibes. And so they don't think that men look at me or notice me in that way because I seem like I'm already taken. How do I shift my energy when I show up to seem available?
Okay. Well, that's a good question. And for anybody that's watching now or on the replay, I want to make sure that you give off that vibe, right? Because there's a different decorum for wife material than it is for side chick or fun girl material. So when a man of substance or value is out, he 9 times out of 10 is not looking for just somebody to have fun with, the type of man that you want, right? So I want to make sure that you are actually being open, smiling, engaging. And that can look like a little bit of flirting. That could look like not hiding your face or turning away when he looks at you. Smile, wave, say hello. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Something of that nature to open it up to him so that he knows that you are interested. You also want to go in with your body language, right? So your body language doesn't need to be closing off. Your body language should be open. Maybe you have your leg crossed a little bit. Maybe you have your skirt on. It's a long skirt, but your legs are crossed at the ankles. So it looks as though you are interested in speaking with somebody. Sometimes we do that unbeknownst to us because we are nervous, because we are shy, because we are, we want to date, but we don't really want to date. We are afraid to date. We are afraid for them to make the move, right? Just because we're nervous. So just make sure that you are leading with your smile, leading with an engaging spirit so that that person knows that you are open. And even a friendly wave is okay. Just make sure you're looking out for any types of rings or anything of that nature, because sometimes these married men are very, friendly.
All right. You need to do a whole class on flirting because I feel like I've been out of it for so long that I'm like, I just don't know. I don't
Okay,
know.
well, you know what?
And
That's
I
the
will tell you what I'm guilty of that you just said. I was in the grocery store and okay, I don't know why I'm sharing this online, but I'm gonna just share it because hey, I'm
share
not
it.
the
We're
only
all
one.
friends here.
I was in the grocery store and I was in self-checkout, and the guy on the other side of self-checkout looked up and he said, "Hello." And I was like, like completely caught off guard because most of the time I'm just in my own world getting stuff done.
Right.
Right. Like, so he caught me off guard and I was like, hi, and left, like quickly left. But not because I was like, I didn't want to talk to him. It just caught me off guard. I wasn't thinking about being open to meeting people. I was in there trying to get this, whatever I needed, this last ingredient for something that was already on the stove at home. So I do have that tendency, if I'm not in the moment and ready for it, to leave the situation.
Okay. So what do you think will help you be ready for it?
Oh, sorry, I was reading the comments. Diamond slid in her man's DM and they're getting married in 3 months. Congratulations, Diamond. Okay, I need that energy. What's gonna make me be ready for it?
Yes. Because we know that you want it mentally, but we know that you're not prepared to receive it when it's in front of you?
I don't know. I
Well,
don't
I
know.
know what it's going to be. It's going to be a little bit more confidence, right? And not confidence as a woman, but confidence as it relates to speaking to a man.
Okay.
Okay, so because you've been out of the dating world for so long, you just need a little bit of that male contact and conversations. And one of the things that I offer for those of you who join my So Long Single program, inside the So Long Single program, the Summer of Love program, it's a 6-week fast track program, and it's starting on June the 10th. And inside the program, one of the things that we offer is mock dating. And we offer the mock dating with real live men. The good thing is that these men are single. It's not matchmaking or anything of that nature, but they are single, and they are there to help you have that banter back and forth so that you can prepare yourself for the real world, real life dating. Now, this happens face to face in a Zoom platform, so you don't have to be in the actual person's, particular space. But it's something that we offer because we do know that it's hard to talk to men. It is a little bit nerve-wracking sometimes. You get a little shy. But once you learn how to talk to men in a non-threatening environment, once you go out into the real world, it's like, okay, I could do this. I can handle this. I just spoke with so-and-so in the mock dating, and I'm ready. I'm prepared for this. So I think you just need a little bit more help with actually just relating to men. And that's something that we can definitely help you with in the So Long Single program.
Okay. Someone said, okay, wait, Marca said, I'm so out of touch with dating that I've given up. I'm open for love again, but it's hard taking men seriously. I get that.
Okay, so Marsha says, okay, she's out of touch with dating that I've given up. Okay, so would you like to jump on the line? We can do you right now. So it's so hard to taking men seriously. And you know what? And that's one of the reasons why I became a relationship coach, right? Because both parties are saying the same thing. Men are saying that about women, and women are saying that about men. You ladies don't realize this, but I actually work with men on the back end as well. Many men slide into my DMs or schedule calls with me because they want to date a woman of value, a woman of substance. And what they are running into are the city girls, the women that all want money, not knowing that you ladies are self-sufficient, and that is just the narrative, the negative narrative that is being spoken. So it's hard taking men seriously, but that's because you have not found the right man, or you're running into the men that are so inconsistent. And in my So Long Single program, I would teach you how to actually attract the most compatible companion for you. It's all about where you go. It's all about who you meet. It's all about where you think you are in the relationship journey. I recently did a video called The Mirror Work, right? And it's all about, and you guys can watch it here on my YouTube channel. It's all about attracting what you believe you can achieve. So if you believe that all the men are not serious daters, or they're all playing games, that's what you're going to attract. It's all about your mental space and your mind frame. Whatever you believe is true is. And that's how it goes across the board, whether it's dating, whether it's in business, whether it's in education, whatever you believe to be true is.
That is true.
Thank you for sharing that. Okay, and Ani says, try speaking to any guy, even if you're not attracted, just to get comfortable talking to men without getting anxious. Exactly, Ani. Exactly. And that's the purpose of having the mock dating within the So Long Single program. And by you setting up your social singles calendar with going to places and events with things that you like to do, then just having men there, that'll be just an extra bonus. But you'll be so engulfed into the music, into the painting, that you'll just be there just to have fun. And whoever you meet is an added bonus.
Okay.
Okay, so Charlene, I gave you a lot of homework. I gave you a lot of homework, but I hope it's not too overwhelming for you. I want you to be able to join us again, maybe in the next couple of weeks or even 30 days, to let us know how everything has been going for you. Before I let you go, I want to definitely thank you so much for being here tonight. Are there any other questions that I can answer for you?
No, I don't think so. Not right now. Not right now. I
Okay,
got a lot of homework. And I think I already know my WNDC, so I feel like I'm ahead with that.
you are.
My thing is going to be, even when you said go to the social events and you're having fun, I have to be mindful of having fun and being open, because I'll get lost in the music and nobody else exists. But I have to still be open. So I'm going to be
Right.
practicing that. I might take Ani's advice and start, whoo, I'm thinking like speak to any guy. I don't know. I might try that.
Yeah, especially, you know what? It's definitely better maybe if you start speaking to guys that you are not attracted to, because sometimes when we are attracted to people, we get so nervous and lost in their face or just what they have to say. So yeah, just have a regular conversation with somebody. You do it all the time when you're networking.
I'm so good with guys that I'm not attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy. I got to start talking to guys that I'm attracted to, because no.
Okay.
And in my 20s, I think it was different, right? In my 20s and my early 30s, because guys were approaching you. But I love what Diamond said, like she approached her man. I want to be able to do that, right? But ooh, the ones that I'm attracted to, I'm like, Lord, my heart starts beating. I feel like a
Palms
teenager
get
again.
sweaty like a teenager, right?
Yes, yes. And I'm like, Charlene, you are too old to be like having this type of reaction. Get it together. But
Well, that's okay. We know that age is just a number, right? So just give
that's true.
yourself some grace. And once you start building up that confidence, it's going to happen for you just like that.
Okay. I appreciate you. Oh, look, I got some wing girls in there. Thank you, friends.
You got a whole crew ready to help you out.
I know.
You got a
And then
whole
we're gonna
crew
get
ready to help
Marcus
you out.
someone too.
Oh, yeah, Marker. Okay, yes, Marker is ready. Marker, let's go. Let's jump on. Charlene, thank you so much for being
Thank
here tonight.
you.
We will see you on the other
Okay.
side.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Good night, everyone.
All right, guys, Charlene is off to a great start. Some of the homework that she has tonight was to create a social singles calendar, doing some of the things that she likes to actually do. She likes painting, she likes music, she likes concerts. By her doing this and going to these type of events, it'll be less pressure on her, and she'll be able to enjoy her environment while also meeting somebody that is like-minded. The second thing that she's going to do is she's going to focus on her WNDC method. That's her wants, her needs, her deal breakers, and her compromises. Knowing this ahead of time allows you to actually have the foundation. So you're not just caught up in a whirlwind relationship with somebody who's not even your ideal candidate, just that you just like because they like you. We're not doing that anymore. 2025 is all about creating the love life that you want. Let your love go all the way up. Now, Marsha says, I'm sorry, it's Marka. Marka says she's interested in dating. She's interested in the singles event with men who are done playing games. Well, Marka, that's one of the reasons why I host my singles events. They're called Flirt After Work Single Socials. And one of the requirements is that you have to you have to complete a RSVP form. This form requires you to answer questions so that we can filter out the noise. I want you to go to april-a-carter.com/events to take a look at some of our upcoming singles mixers. These mixers are intentional, and everybody in these places and spaces are there for serious, lasting love and commitment. Now, are you always guaranteed to meet somebody who is your match? No, you're not. I can't make you that promise, but you are guaranteed to meet men who are like-minded and men who are serious about dating. All right, what other questions? You got it, girl. Yeah, she has it. Thank you so much for being her cheerleader. All right, so we've gone through that. The next thing that I want to talk about with you ladies is just the fact that you are a busy woman and you are starting to date again. I know that it's a lot of pressure, especially when you're watching all of the podcasts, you're watching the YouTube, you're taking advice, you got so much noise in the air. I want you to clear the clutter. Clear the clutter, and I want you to remember to date for you. Nobody is going to be in the relationship but you and him. Before he gets in, date for yourself. It's all about you. What are some of the things that you are willing to actually have to cultivate the relationship? Don't worry about money. Don't worry about, of course, you're going to worry about money, right? But if you had to take money off the table, would you date this particular guy that's a coworker of yours? Would you date this particular guy that your cousin met? What interests you in a mate and in a partner? Focus on that. I like to tell the story that when I met my husband, he was making like 45 or $50,000, right? One of the things that he said to me when he proposed to me in the restaurant, he was down on one knee, and I'm just looking at him crazy because I was a little bit stuck. You know, it was tax time, and I just thought he took me to this fancy restaurant because he had his taxes, right? Y'all know how it used to be back in the day, and maybe now for some people, you get that tax refund. You like, okay, we balling, we doing this, we doing that. He took me to Morton Steakhouse. So we at the steakhouse, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm having a good time. Next thing I look over, and he's on the floor on one knee. And I'm like, now, mind you, I had just got out of not only a relationship, but a divorce, right? So I'm looking down at him, and I'm like, I was a little taken aback. So I'm staring at him to the point that he's like, is that a yes? But before he asks me the question, he comes in with this whole speech, which is why I'm looking at him. I'm like, what? He has this speech. He's like, man, I'm not a rich man, but I'm not a rich man, but I'm a family man. And I love your family, and my family loves your family, and just all of these things. And I'm just looking at him. I'm like, okay. But when he said, I'm not a rich man, but I'm a family man, that's one thing that was like, ding, ding, ding. I'm like, oh, he's going to be broke. Okay. But fast forward years later, now he's actually making the money that we always strive to have. He's actually doing all the things. He's paying all the bills. He's doing this. He's doing that. That's something that wasn't happening when we first started dating. I was responsible for my portion, and he was responsible for his portion. He always paid the rent, though, or the mortgage, because you're not my roommate, okay? You're going to be the provider on some things, right? But now, fast forward, he's a family man. This man be gardening. This man goes to the grocery store. He does all the things that he said he would do as a family man. So be careful that when you are picking your perfect partner for you, that you are not getting mixed up that a good man equals a money man. You have to have a good man to make the money, not the other way around, okay? So make sure that you are choosing your partner wisely based on some of those foundational things that you said when you created your WNDC method, because that's what's going to keep you guys together. The money comes, the money flows. One day you're going to be on top and he might be down here. You know, life happens. Sometimes you get laid off. Sometimes you get promotions, all of those things. But as long as you two are together, going through this world together, standing with each other side by side, there is nothing that you can't do. I created So Long Single and became a relationship coach because I want the African American community to bring families back. I'm a strong believer that when there's a two-parent household, a loving parents, then the children are better offspring, not just for the family, but for the community. Not just for the community, but for the state. Not just for the state, but for the world. When you have a two-parent household, the legacy is able to be built. Two-parent households mean two incomes most of the time. Two-parent households means a mom and a dad. Now, Father's Day is coming up. There are going to be a lot of posts with women saying, Happy Father's Day to myself. Ladies, you cannot be a father. You are not a father. Yes, you have stepped in, but you are not a father. So I want to make sure that you are building a lasting life of love and legacy, not just for you, but for your children and for your family. If there's no other questions, I want to thank you so much for being here today. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, comment, share, hit that like button. Let YouTube know that you are really enjoying my content. Make sure that you are able to share this message with other people. Make sure that you go to my website, april-a-carter.com, to get some free resources, and also check out the upcoming So Long Single program that we have going on. It's a 6-week fast track course. And you know what? I'm just happy to help you live your best love life. I'm April A. Carter, your certified expert relationship coach, and I will see you on the other side. Bye, girls. Thanks for joining. And guys, See you later. Make sure you comment the date that you're watching this. I want to see who's watching. Bye.